Well, that's it for the weather. Now let's take a look at our Earth Run map. This morning, the torch takes us across the Pacific to Singapore. Nearing the final leg of the first Earth Run now, the torch of peace moves from hand to hand, making its way southward across Singapore. This not-quite koala bear means the Earth Run has entered Australia for a date with the school children of Perth and with the America's Cup sailors, whose yachts wait just offshore. In Canberra, runner Gail Straub hands off to Prime Minister Bob Hawke.
On behalf of UNICEF, the children of the world, and the 25 million people who have taken part in the Earth Run, I'm very honored to give you the torch of peace.
Thank you very much indeed, Gail.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And finally, across the Pacific to Brazil, the torch gets a warm surfside reception as it heads back to the United States, where the Earth Run journey began 3 months ago. The torch is in San Diego today, then it's on to Los Angeles tomorrow and San Francisco on Sunday. Finally, it heads for Washington and New York.
12 minutes after 8 o'clock right now. For the past 86 days, we've been following the first Earth Run, looking in as the symbolic torch of peace made its way around the world. Yesterday, the Earth Run ended where it began in September at the United Nations here in New York. Following the lighting ceremony, a special convocation of the UN General Assembly honored not only the runners who took part, but also the 40th anniversary of UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, which sponsored the first Earth Run. With us this morning, Gail Straub, the Earth Run's international director. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning.
How does the world look from a pair of running shoes?
It looks very exciting. It also looks very nice to be home.
I'll bet it is good to be back. At least you got a good tan out of it.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights of some of the places that you and your runners saw.
This is Leningrad, where we had over 100,000 people join us running with us. It was very exciting. Could really feel the Soviet people's commitment to peace here. Now we're just moving on to The Hague. And at The Hague, we had Prince Klaus light the torch. It was an unprecedented event at the Peace Palace where we had lots of children join us, and it was a great honor to have Prince Klaus actually light this eternal flame. And the people in the Netherlands were very enthusiastic about the event. And now we've moved on to Africa. We're in Abidjan in the Ivory Coast. It was Houphouët-Boigny's 81st birthday here, and there's a tremendous celebration. He's known as the Apostle of Peace in Africa. So we had about 85,000 people join us in the celebration. We're still in Africa here. We're in Burkina Faso, in Bobo-Dioulasso, and President Thomas Sankara mobilized 100,000 people here from hundreds of neighboring villages to greet the torch and dance with us and sing with us. It was very exciting. Here we're in Nigeria, and the head of state is actually running around the track with the torch, which was quite exciting.
Pays to stay in shape.
Yes, it pays to stay in shape. So Africa gave the torch an enormously enthusiastic reception. And here we're in India. This is President Singh, and I'm about to give him a peace medal, which we often did to the heads of state that we met. We ran through 10 cities in India and found the Indian people to be very deeply moved by the torch. And we had many walks there also. Here we're in Beijing. Our Chinese runner, Chui Lin, is about to run us onto the Great Wall. You just saw 3,000 doves released into the air, and now we're headed onto the Great Wall, which was quite a moving place to run.
What a tremendous response from people all over the world.
Yes,
what did you learn from talking to these people as you ran?
Well, we learned that people everywhere want peace. Really, no matter where we went, the people of the world expressed a desire for peace. We also learned that they really counted on the Americans to come forward for peace. That everywhere we went, because I was an American, they asked, well, what are you going to do for peace?
Okay, thanks, Gail. It just isn't going to seem like Friday without looking at your running pictures from all over.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here. It's 15 after 8. Dolly Parton, a Christmas special, and more after this.